Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Aina Kweyom. In the news tonight, the two Americans who were last month found guilty of the murder of 25-year-old Andre Hegemeier appeared in court yesterday morning for their submissions before sentencing. The state called Hegemeier's mother to the stand to testify in support of an aggravated sentence. Kristen Kruger reports.
Die twee Amerikaners wat verlede maand op die moord van Andre Hegemeier skuldig bevind is, het vanoggend weer in die Hoërhof in Windhoek verskyn vir finale betoog voor vonnisoplegging. Hiertydens het die staat geargumenteer dat Marcus Thomas en Kevin Townsend strawwer vonnisse toegedien moet word. Die staat het een getuie geroep, die oorledene Andre Hegemeier se ma. Sy het getuig dat die dood van hulle seun die familie baie erg getref het en dat hulle net graag wil weet wat die rede was vir hierdie wreedaardige moord op hulle seun. Sy het ook getuig dat Andre se pa na sy dood baie siek en depressief geword het. Volgens haar het hy sy beste vriend verloor. Verrigtinge sal na verwagting môre voortduur met die twee moordenaars regsverteenwoordigers wat vir 'n ligter vonnis sal argumenteer. Marcus Thomas se regsverteenwoordiger het reeds aangedui dat hy nie die getuienisbank sal inneem om vir sy eie saak te getuig nie. Nadat alle partye hulle betoog gelewer het, sal 'n datum geskeduleer word vir die vonnisoplegging.
Agriculture Minister Carl Schleitwein was speaking at the Africa Water Facility Funding Dialogue taking place in France. Have a look.
However, ladies and gentlemen, we must be very clear about the fact that these ambitions will be transformed into actually progress only if water is available securely, sustainably and affordably. Africa's immediate challenge is to meet the targets of SDG 6, which include to supply fresh water to more than 400 million people that are deprived of it. It is to supply and provide sanitation for 700 million people or more who have no proper sanitation facilities. And we have to avail water to millions of people living in informal urban settlements to embrace.
The 10 Fish Road defendants appeared in High Court in Windhoek this morning. Only the state and 3 of the accused are ready to begin the trial. The rest of the representatives have indicated that they will only be ready in January 2024. Several defendants have applied for legal aid and some intend to bring an application form that some of their frozen assets be made available to them so that they can pay their privately appointed lawyers. In our Story of the Day segment, the Namibian Navy celebrates its 19th anniversary. After the break. All right, let's get into our Story of the Day. The Namibian Navy celebrated its 19th anniversary on Friday at Naval Base Captain Sakaria in Walvis Bay. The Namibian Navy Commander Rear Admiral Alwendo Paulos Amuvulu, who officiated the event, shares more. Have a look.
Just as we human beings have dates of origin, nation states too have dates of foundation. They mark as Independence Days. Yes, navies have their histories of foundation, and the Namibian Navy is no exception. This year, we celebrate the 19th anniversary of the Namibian Navy, counting back from its commissioning day on 7th of October 2004. We are celebrating this day belatedly due to circumstances beyond our control. First, let me acknowledge those who have graciously accepted our invitation, albeit on short notice, and made it to this day in good health of body and mind to celebrate with us the Navy's anniversary. We are all spellbound by your presence. I also take this opportunity to welcome in our midst new members of the Navy who have just joined us in August after successful completion of their training at Namibia Defence Force Training Establishment. Colleagues, please welcome. I congratulate you for the choice you have made to pursue a career of service in our country's armed forces. In taking a decision to join the Defence Force, you have accepted the highest call to duty any citizen can ever take. As you passed out on the 8th of August 2023, you joined a unique group of Namibians, those who, instead of a normal job,
Moving on to community news, President Hage Geingob received South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the State House to conclude the Bi-National Commission. After the break.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
In Community Talk tonight, at the invitation of President Hage Geingob and Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, co-chaired the third session of the Namibia-South Africa Bi-National Commission, which was held earlier today in Windhoek at the State House. The Bi-National Commission was presided by a meeting of mission on the 12th of October 2023 and a meeting of senior officials from the 7th to 9th March 2023. During the Bi-National Commission, the head of the state underscored the need to continue nurturing the warm and excellent bilateral relations subsist between Namibia and South Africa, which are anchored by long-standing historic bonds of solidarity, socio-economic and common cultural heritage. The heads of state welcomed the signing of a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the field of higher education and training. Have a look.
This third session of our Bi-National Commission, therefore, presents us with yet another opportunity to reaffirm the warm and enduring bilateral relations between our two countries, the people. The meetings of our ministers yesterday created an opportunity to review existing cooperation, iron out challenges where they exist, and to map the way forward towards new areas of cooperation for mutual benefit. Our agenda today is diverse, covering a wide range of sectors, such as trade, investment, energy, health, education, and security. These discussions will help us identify areas where we can deepen our collaboration, share experiences, and leverage our respective strengths for the betterment of our societies.
We sincerely apologize for the audio in that clip. Now moving on, according to Economic News, the first oil from Namibia's offshore wells is expected in 2030 after the break.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In economic news tonight, Namibia expects the first oil from major offshore finds by 2030 and is considering a floating production storage and offloading platform, an official has revealed. Petroleum Commissioner Maggie Shino told an oil conference in Cape Town, South Africa, that 2 oil companies were conducting appraisal tests to determine if they contained commercial amounts of oil that could be developed for the oil project Deepwater. We are thinking of having a FPSO and then exporting the crude to the market, she said. This comes as oil major Shell, which is conducting appraisal works on PLE 39 to determine the commercial viability of the hydrocarbon, also cautioned that the first oil from its discovery in Namibia is unlikely before 2030. Total Energies last month announced positive results from the Venus 1A appraisal well situated in Block 2913B, approximately 13 kilometers north of Venus 1X discovery well. The French energy giant is presently conducting a multi-well appraisal and exploration drilling program in Namibia, utilizing 2 rings. Namibia, which has yet to produce any oil and gas, has attracted strong interest from international energy companies after Shell and Total Energies made discoveries off the coast of the southern African country. Namibia's recent oil discoveries, according to government forecasts, have the potential to position the country among the top 15 oil-producing nation by 2035, with employment of 4,200 people expected to be created. Research shows that Namibia could register a GDP of 699 billion Namibian dollars at peak production level from the country's newly discovered oil reserves. According to research conducted by Wood Mackenzie, direct value added could come to around 567 billion Namibian dollars by 2043. And now let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades for 22 Namibian dollars 98 cents to 1 British pound, 90 Namibian dollars 93 cents to 1 euro, 80 Namibian dollars 97 cents get you 1 US dollar. All commodities have increased: gold with 3.08%, platinum 1.25%, copper 0.64%, and Brent crude oil 4.57%.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
In our international news tonight, African countries hailed China's development-oriented financing support to them as new studies on China's sovereign financing in Africa was released in Beijing on Thursday, backed by studies and analysis of sufficient cases. The reports on effectiveness of China's sovereign financing in Africa was released by the Institute of New Structural Economics and Peking University. According to the report, China's sovereign financing commitments to Africa have totaled approximately $106 billion since the Belt and Road Initiative proposed a decade ago, mainly low-income and low- and middle-income countries. The study stated that different from commercial creditors who focus on maximizing financing benefits, China's financing to Africa is development-oriented, mainly in the infrastructure sector, and widely covers different fields of social welfare and production, including health, education, agriculture, and food, the report said. The report said that over 67% of China's financing in Africa goes to infrastructure construction, such as roads, railways, information and communication technology, as well as water supply. Have a look.
The government use this financial vehicle to help the African country to construct infrastructure, build the basis for sustained growth. But certainly, we, not only need to, make infrastructure investments through the financing, but we also like to see whether those projects realize our vision, bring the positive impacts on African countries.
For us African countries, to witness the launching of this report, because it guides us, it gives us, guidance on how we can make an accurate assessment of the impact of this Chinese financial support for African countries. It's very important.
Chinese government take very serious.
My views and add to the debate. But of course, I would like to thank.
It is a crucial report. Us as African countries, we would like to have a conversation, a continued conversation with the People's Republic of China.
Safe to say that China is doing a lot in terms of assisting the African countries by way of providing credit for various infrastructure as well as social development.
Moving over to our next story, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said earlier today that the Pentagon was ready to deploy more military aid to Israel as Israeli forces prepare for a likely invasion of Gaza in response to a devastating attack by militant group Hamas. Austin said that new nations' air defense capabilities and other equipment and resources were rapidly flowing to Washington's closest Middle East ally. Israel has vowed to crush Hamas, the Palestinian Islamist movement that rule Gaza. Austin made the comments at the news conference in Tel Aviv with his Israel counterpart Yoav Gallant. Have a look.
The USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group is now in the region, led by the largest aircraft carrier in the world. We've augmented U.S. fighter aircraft squadrons in the Middle East, And the U.S. Department of Defense stands fully ready to deploy additional assets if necessary. So make no mistake, the United States will make sure that Israel has what it needs to defend itself. And Israel has a right to protect its people. This is a time for resolve and not revenge, for purpose and not panic, and for security and not surrender. We will remain in close contact with our valued partners across the region, and security assistance from the Department of Defense is already rapidly flowing into Israel. That includes munitions and air defense capabilities and other equipment and resources.
Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas is one axis, an axis of evil. Everything is directed generally from Iran. The permission is given by Iran, the money is supplied by Iran, and the ideas are shaped in Iran. Therefore, it doesn't matter if they give or didn't give the permission, but the idea is an Iranian idea. As to the actions, future actions of IDF, I will stay confidential for good reasons.
Threat posed by Hamas without
Coming up next is the sports package courtesy of Sports Rep.
Welcome to Sport Wrap for Sunset News. We are looking forward to some exciting clashes in the Rugby World Cup as New Zealand take on Ireland and the Springboks carry the hope of Africa as they face the hosts, France, who will certainly be wishing them all the best. However, let's talk about football. We're going to be talking about the draw of AFCON. Hosts Ivory Coast were joined in Group A by Nigeria in the draw for the Africa Cup of Nations in Abidjan on Thursday. Fast improving Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, who have qualified for a fourth straight edition, complete the mini-league. Other heavyweight pairings included defending champions Senegal with five-time winners Cameroon, while Africa's first World Cup semi-finalists Morocco faced the Democratic Republic of Congo. Ivory Coast, seeking a third Cup of Nations title, will meet Guinea-Bissau in the opening match on 13 January in Abidjan, the economic hub. Nigeria were last crowned Cup of Nations winners in 2013 in South Africa, and Ivory Coast succeeded them 2 years later in Equatorial Guinea. Morocco were drawn in Group F with DR Congo, Zambia and Tanzania. Now, the Atlas Lions have won the Premier African Football Competition only once, and that was in 1976. Their best performance since then was finishing runners-up to 2004 host Tunisia, and defending champions Senegal are in Group C with five-time winners Cameroon, Guinea and Gambia. However, South Africa will face Tunisia, Mali and our beloved Namibia in Group E, while Ghana take on Egypt, Cape Verde and Mozambique in Group B.
Here are the highlights from tonight's broadcast. At the invitation of President Hage Geingob and Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, co-chaired at the third session of the Namibia-South Africa Binational Commission, which was held earlier today in Windhoek at the State House. Namibia accepts the first oil from major offshore finds by 2030 and is considering a floating production storage and offloading platform, an official has revealed. Petroleum Commissioner Maggie Shino told an oil conference in Cape Town, South Africa. The two oil companies were conducting appraisal tests to determine if they contained commercial amounts of oil that could be developed. Just in for sports, Ongos FC led UNAM FC 1-0 at halftime in the Debmarine Namibia Premiership at the UNAM Stadium. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Please do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, which is called oneupto.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 as well as GoTV 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Please don't end your day without us. Good night.